What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Spin Fuel's Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at Lick brand vapors. So before I start my review, I just want to give my sincerest apologies to the people over at Lick brand vapors. I haven't been able to get to their flavor reviews for quite a while now. It's been since before I went to VCC Tampa, and that's pretty much the reason I haven't been able to get to these reviews, is because I was so bogged down with all the hardware and everything that I received from Tampa. I haven't got around to doing a flavor review, so this will be my first flavor review using my new kit, which is an Ego 1 battery with a Kanger Subtank Nano, and I will be replacing a coil in between each take so that I have a nice fresh cotton on every single flavor, so no flavor crossover. The reason I'm doing this from now on is because I want to give a good look at both sides of vaping, whether you're on the tank side or the dripping side, sub-ohm, not sub-ohm, whatever. This gives a decent indication of the best of both worlds, I feel like, and it's also, you know, easy to maintain and easy to change out the coils, and I don't have to do a lot of work for doing flavor reviews, which also saves me time and a lot of hassle. So, and it works out for you guys as well, because there's going to be no flavor crossover whatsoever. Anyways, thank you very much, Lick brand vapors, for sending me these flavors for review. I hit them up a few months ago, and they said they weren't sending out sample packs to reviewers quite yet, and they remembered that I requested a sample pack, and they sent it along, and they also sent this pretty sweet t-shirt as well. And also they gave me Sunshine, which is my favorite flavor by Lick brand vapors to date. So I did want to give them a big shout out as well. So this thing is all primed up and ready to go with our first flavor, which is going to be Calypso. First, also before I begin, I did want to mention the fact that the PG-VG ratio in all these liquids are 60-40 high VG. So just to let you guys know, this is you know, good for tanks, and as well as you could drip it as well, but it's definitely going to be better for tanks. So Calypso is refreshing lemonade mixed with strawberry and juicy watermelon. And obviously, let me show you the bottle real quick here. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so this one is the bottle, and it has a little picture of a little smiley face. They all have like some sort of smiley face on it, and this one has one with a little watermelon on it. And so that's what I kind of got out of the liquid first. So let's go ahead and have a quick vape. And the thing I really like about this setup is that it really does chuck some clouds for being such a tiny little setup. Really not bad on the vapor production. So as far as this flavor is concerned, I definitely get a lot of that watermelon flavor, but the rest of it is still kind of in there as well. As for a mix, not really my preferred mix. I would either say go for the watermelon or go for the strawberry lemonade, but the mix of both is just kind of a little bit much for me. It's kind of like you're eating watermelon and drinking strawberry lemonade all at the same time, so it gets to be a little bit much. It is very, very sweet, which I enjoy, but it tends to kind of confuse my palate a little bit because I get that sourness kind of to the watermelon and the lemonade as well as the sweetness. And all at once, it just kind of, you know, overbearing a little bit on the palate. So I mean, the flavor overall is not bad. I don't think any flavor in this is bad. The watermelon's nice and sour, sweet, you know, kind of not so natural tasting as it is more of a candy flavor. But the strawberry lemonade is pretty decent. You know, you can't find a really good strawberry lemonade out there all that often. But this one is pretty decent. So I'm going to give it one more little puff here, and we'll get to my ratings. Alright, so for the flavor on this one, I'm going to give it a 3.5. Probably not an all-day vape for me, but it is a decent flavor, and it's kind of up my alley as far as the fruitiness goes. Those tend to be my kind of favorite flavors. Decent flavor on this one, but it kind of just overpowers my palate a little bit. So, not a bad flavor though at all. As for the vapor, I'm going to give this a 4. Very good vapor production off of this stuff, especially for a 60-40 blend. And not that powerful of a device, you know. This thing does, you know, chuck some clouds to it, but, you know, it's no dripper, that's for sure. And as for the throat hit, right on point to where I like it, so I'm going to give it a 4.5. Nice average 3 milligram kind of feeling to it, and I also like that they mark their bottles really well. 3 milligram, and they also have a born on date with, or a batch number on it. Sorry, they have a batch number on all their bottles, so you can keep track. And if you have a problem with anything, you can just tell them which batch it came from, and they'll be able to figure it out from there. So decent flavor on this one. Vapor production is good, and throat hits right where I want it to be. That about does it for Calypso. Let's move on to our next flavor. Alright, so we're all re-wicked, or recoiled I should say. Tank's all filled up for our next flavor, which is going to be Juicy Chew. This one's described as a mouth-watering juice of fresh and candied grapes mixed with classically sweet bubble gum. So it's basically, I'm imagining juicy fruit in my mind. Just from the smell of it, I get definitely a juicy fruit kind of gum flavor. And let's just take our first puff and see what I see here. Definitely interesting. I do get a bit of that juicy fruit in there, but I'm getting something else too. It's kind of like a peppery, spicy flavor to it. Not really what I was expecting. It's almost like, it's so hard to describe. It's definitely like peppery tasting to me. I don't know what that is in there, and it's definitely not what I get really from juicy fruit gum. But the flavor itself does kind of, kick the back of your throat a little bit harsher than a normal 3 milligram would. I'm not sure if that's whatever's in there or what, but I'm telling you, I'm definitely getting a little bit of a kick in the back of my throat whenever I vape this. Now, I for one love juicy fruit gum, and as you probably all know if you've ever tried juicy fruit, the flavor doesn't quite last on it so well. So having this as a nice backup or secondary to a stick of gum is always nice. I'm not sure if it's going to freshen your breath at all, but you do get that nice fruity flavor out of there. It's an interesting flavor. Not sure as far as the grape in there. Not really getting too much of a grape flavor. Not getting so much of a bubble gum, but I'm definitely getting whatever juicy fruit flavor is. That's what the kind of the flavor that best describes it. Just like juicy fruit gum with a little extra kick to it. So a couple more vapes and let me do my ratings. Alright, so as for the flavor on this one, I'm going to give this a 4. It does give me that really satisfying juicy fruit kind of flavor. Not getting the candied grapes like is described, not quite, I don't really get the grape flavor out of it, but I do get whatever juicy fruit gum is supposed to be, kind of like a mixed fruit kind of flavor with a little extra kick in there. So for the flavor, 4, not too bad on this one. I do enjoy juicy fruit gum, so this will be satisfying as far as that's concerned. As for the vapor, I'll give it a 4. Just nice dense clouds just like the last one. And the throat hit, I'm actually going to give this one a 3. That little peppery kind of kick to it does, kind of tickle the back of your throat a little bit. So not sure how I feel about this one. As for a substitute for gum, I'd probably rather just chew a stick or two of juicy fruit rather than vaping this stuff. But for those of you that do enjoy that flavor of juicy fruit, I do recommend this one and go out and try it for yourself. And yeah, you be the judge. So that does it for this one. Let's move on to our next flavor. Alright, so we got a new coil in there and we're ready to go for apples and dip. This one is described as packed in each bottle you'll find crisp, cool apple that's been dunked in a gooey and rich butterscotch dip to create an irresistibly full-flavored lick original. So, basically apples with butterscotch. This is very unique. I have never tried anything like this one. I've tried like sour apple flavors, I've tried, desserty flavors, but this one kind of is bridging the gap between the two of them a little bit, which gives you a nice smooth flavor. So let's go ahead and take our first puff on this thing. So the butterscotch in this one is really what I taste first, which is kind of a good thing because if you think about it, you're dipping an apple in, first thing you're going to get is that butterscotch flavor. The apple flavor is really light and is kind of in the background for this one. Not a bad thing in my opinion, but I think it could have used a little bit of a boost with the apple flavor. It is a really smooth vape. The throat hit is really light on it as well. So right up my alley as far as 3 milligram goes. so points for that. And it's nice, crisp, and refreshing kind of flavor. So this is kind of nice for an after meal kind of snack kind of vape, something like that. Not an all-day vape for me, but I can definitely see myself occasionally picking this up, maybe as a substitute for dessert or something like that. Really interesting flavor as well. I give you a lot of credit for coming up with this one. Haven't seen too many like this out there, so yeah, very unique and very interesting as well. Let's take a few more vapes and I'll get to my ratings on this. Alright, so as for my ratings on this one, for the flavor, I'm going to give this one a 4. Not an all-day vape for me, definitely the occasional vape, but the flavor that's in there is really on point. Really wish they would have boosted up that apple flavor a little bit more so it's more noticeable. The butterscotch in it, though, is really creamy and delicious, so definite props for this one. Really enjoying this so far. As for the vapor, I get nice, thick, dense vape clouds out of this stuff, so I'm going to give it a 4 as well. I'm pretty sure these are all going to be 4s. Pretty standard and better than most 60-40 blends that I've tried, so not bad for a 60-40. And as for the throat hit, as I mentioned, nice, smooth, easy to vape. Definitely goes down nice and smooth, so I'm going to give this one a 4 as well. And let's bump it up to 4.5. 4.5 for the throat hit on this one. Nice and easy to vape. So there you go. If you're looking for a nice after dinner vape, this is definitely one to pick up for yourself. So that does it for apples and dip. Let's move on to our final flavor. And our final flavor today is going to be pina colada. Pina colada is described as delicate coconut and fresh pineapple, so just what you would expect out of a pina colada vape, or similar to the namesake of the adult beverage itself. Let's go ahead and take my first puff on this and see what I see. So the first thing that comes to my mind after taking a few rips off of this is the word refreshing. That's the best way I can describe this e-liquid. I like the delicate pineapple and with the coconut mixed together. The coconut's nice and creamy, kind of natural tasting as well. The pineapple is sweet, a little bit of tart, but not too tart, not too sweet. It blends together really nicely, and I think it's a nice, refreshing afternoon, kind of after work vape. If you're going out on the town, you know, having a few drinks or whatever, I would definitely bring this one along. It definitely would pair well with a tropical beverage of your choice. So as the nights are getting, you know, longer and the days are getting longer, the nights are, you know, starting to get warmer here in New England, I definitely will find myself vaping this stuff when I'm out on the town. So if you like a pina colada flavor, I think this one's definitely going to be for you. Again, nice, cooling, refreshing, kind of just chill out, relaxing vape. Let's take a few more rips off of this thing and I'll get to my ratings. And as for my ratings on this flavor, it's a nice, cool, refreshing vape. For the flavor, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I can definitely see myself enjoying this stuff for a long time to come and bringing this stuff out with me out on the town. If you're into a pina colada flavor, I definitely recommend this one. Very natural tasting coconut. So for the flavor, 4.5. For the vapor, 4. Again, nice, thick, dense vapor clouds. For the throat hit, it's nice, easy to vape, relaxing, kind of chill vape after work, something like that. So 4.5 for that as well. This flavor is definitely one of my favorites out of the ones that I've tried for you today. I still think Sunshine's my favorite from Lick brand vapors. It's a nice kind of melon blend, but this one comes in definitely a close second. On a side note, I would like to try the rest of Lick brand vapors line. They seem to have some really interesting flavor combinations. Like dragon fruit with a tropical twist, let's see, sweet, smooth, fruity vape, cream with a hint of wild blueberry, and butter rum and cool spearmint. So they have some really interesting flavor combinations, and I would, if I ever get the chance to try the rest of their line, I will be sure to let you guys know what I think about that as well. As for this video, that about does it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment on what you think of these liquids if you've ever tried them before, as well as check out the links in the description if you want to get some for yourself. The pricing is pretty much average, $22 for a 30 ml bottle, and you can get them from their website, which I have a link in the description. Also, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Check out www.spinfuel.com for lots more of my videos, as well as Smoke and Joey and Spin Fuel video. And as always, vape on.